Have you ever woken up feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep? Or perhaps you've experienced a sense of being drained, despite not having done anything physically demanding. You might find yourself wondering why this overwhelming fatigue seems to linger with no clear explanation. It's almost as if something invisible is slowly draining your energy, leaving you feeling weary, depleted, and unable to focus on the things that once brought you joy or motivation. This kind of exhaustion can be frustrating and puzzling, especially when there's no logical reason for it. But what if I told you that sometimes this unexplained weariness could be a subtle sign of something deeper? It could be a sign that you are being affected by negative energies, specifically the destructive force of envy. Envy is one of the most dangerous and corrosive emotions in both the spiritual and emotional realms. It can affect not only the person who harbors it, but also the one who is the target of it. While envy is often hidden behind smiles and seemingly innocent interactions, it can silently drain your energy, making you feel weak and exhausted without knowing why. In this video, we will explore how envy works, how it manifests in our lives, and why you might be feeling spiritually and emotionally drained by forces you cannot see. We will also dive into how you can protect yourself from this harm, find strength in your faith, and stay spiritually strong in the face of this challenge. Let's begin by understanding how envy can have such a profound effect on our energy and spirit, and how Allah provides us with guidance on how to protect ourselves from it. 1. You feel unexplained. Negative emotions from others. In life, we are often surrounded by a mix of people, and the nature of our relationships with them can vary. While some individuals bring positivity into our lives, there are others whose feelings towards us may not always be clear. There are times when, despite having no conflict or misunderstanding, you may sense a shift in someone's behavior. They may begin to act cold or distant, and you start feeling uncomfortable or even criticized without a clear reason. This sudden change can be puzzling and emotionally draining. You wonder, what did I do wrong? Why does this person seem upset with me? But often, it's not about you at all. It's about what lies within them. When people feel envious of you, they may not even be aware of it themselves. Envy is a subtle emotion that can manifest in ways that are hard to detect. Someone who was once friendly and supportive may suddenly start making you feel unwanted or judged. You might catch them glancing at you with a look of contempt, or perhaps making snide remarks disguised as innocent comments. These emotions are often rooted in jealousy, and that jealousy can lead to behaviors that can be very hurtful. It's important to understand that envy doesn't just come from ill will or hatred. It can also stem from insecurity, a feeling of lacking something you have. People may begin to envy your success, your happiness, or your lifestyle, and this can create a barrier between you and them. They may not even realize that their behavior is a direct result of their envy, and sometimes this can lead to them treating you in a way that's inconsistent with the relationship you had before. When you feel negative emotions coming from others, it's crucial to remain calm and not react hastily. Don't let the envy of others dictate how you feel about yourself or your achievements. Instead, seek solace in your faith. Remind yourself that your worth does not depend on the approval of others. The more you seek Allah's protection from these harmful emotions, the stronger and more peaceful you will become in your response. Being able to recognize when you are targeted by envy is the first step in staying spiritually strong. It allows you to protect your heart and mind from unnecessary stress. Instead of retaliating or feeling upset, you can turn to Allah for guidance and strength. Remember that when people are envious, it often reflects their struggles and not yours. Your role is not to fight their emotions, but to keep your own heart pure and your intentions clear. By doing so, you will not only shield yourself from harm, but also remain a beacon of light for others, showing them that success and happiness come from Allah alone. You may also want to seek support from trusted friends or family members who will remind you of your worth and keep you grounded in your faith. The people who truly care for you will encourage you to stay focused on your journey and remain patient in the face of adversity. Instead of focusing on what others may feel or do, invest your energy in your relationship with Allah, and He will guide you through these trials. 2. You experience unusual setbacks or delays. There are moments in life when everything seems to be falling into place. You work hard, you make plans, and you take steps toward your goals with hope and enthusiasm. However, despite your best efforts, you may find that success doesn't come as quickly as expected, or obstacles appear that stop your progress. These setbacks might not make sense at first. One minute, everything seems to be going smoothly, and the next, you are facing delays, difficulties, and situations that slow you down. At times, you might wonder why these challenges are happening, especially when you've done everything right. When you experience these unusual setbacks or delays, it's easy to feel disheartened, frustrated, and even defeated. You may question your path or wonder whether the effort you're putting in is even worth it. But it's essential to realize that these setbacks might not just be random challenges. Sometimes they are a result of negative energy, including envy, that is directed toward you. Those who are envious of your progress or success may secretly wish for your failure, and their negative feelings can manifest in the form of obstacles that seem to block your path. Envy can play a part in this process too. When others wish for your downfall or secretly hope you fail, their negative energy can affect you in ways that seem inexplicable. It might feel as if the universe is working against you, but in reality, the force of envy is at work. However, this doesn't mean you should succumb to the negative energy or allow it to derail your goals. Instead, focus on the bigger picture and trust that your efforts will eventually bear fruit, even if it takes longer than expected. Moreover, remember that setbacks can serve as important reminders from Allah to maintain humility. When things are going well, it's easy to become complacent or forget that every blessing is from Allah. But when obstacles arise, they force you to return to Him, to rely on Him for strength, and to seek His guidance in overcoming difficulties. Furthermore, sometimes delays or setbacks might actually be a blessing in disguise. You may not see it now, but what seems like a barrier could be saving you from a future hardship. Allah's wisdom is beyond our understanding, and He knows what is best for us. Trust in His plan, and know that when the time is right, you will reach your destination, and it will be worth the wait. When faced with setbacks or delays, don't view them as obstacles meant to defeat you. Instead, see them as opportunities to develop patience, strengthen your faith, and grow closer to Allah. The envy of others might be a factor, but remember that no matter what, Allah is always in control. Keep your trust in Him, and know that the path to success is never a straight line. Keep working hard, remain patient, and trust that Allah will bring you the success you seek at the right time. 3. People start gossiping or spreading lies about you. In any community, there will always be people who talk, sometimes about others, and sometimes about things that aren't true. Gossip, unfortunately, is a common aspect of human behavior, and it can be particularly hurtful when it is directed toward you. There's something deeply painful about hearing rumors or lies spread about you, especially when they are completely false. It feels as though your reputation and integrity are being attacked without cause, and you might wonder why such things are happening to you. These situations are not just random. They often indicate that something deeper is at play, especially when they stem from envy. When people begin to gossip about you or spread false information, it's not just an attack on your reputation, but an attempt to undermine your sense of self and your standing in the eyes of others. Sometimes, this is done consciously by those who harbor ill feelings or jealousy toward you, while at other times, it may be due to their insecurities or misunderstandings. Envy can make people see you as a threat, and instead of celebrating your success, they may try to tear you down by spreading lies. The more envious they are, the more they feel the need to discredit you and create doubt in the minds of others. Instead of focusing on the negativity and the falsehoods, use this opportunity to reflect on your own actions. Do you treat others with kindness and respect? Do you uphold your integrity in difficult situations? If your intentions are pure and your actions are sincere, then rest assured that the truth will come to light in due time. Allah is the best of protectors, and He will defend your honor if you maintain your patience and keep your heart focused on Him. Additionally, it's important to remember that the people spreading gossip may not fully understand the harm they are causing. Some people gossip out of jealousy, some out of insecurity, and others may do so simply because it's a way to feel better about themselves. But Allah is fully aware of their actions, and they will not go unnoticed. Even though it may feel overwhelming when others gossip or spread lies about you, you should stay focused on what you can control, your response. In times of difficulty, remind yourself that Allah is your protector and that He will guide you through this trial. Rather than dwelling on the false accusations, focus on your own growth and connection with Allah. Make dua for the person who is gossiping, asking Allah to guide them and help them overcome their envy. 4. You notice unusual tension or distance in relationships. Human relationships are one of the most important aspects of our lives. We form bonds with family, friends, colleagues, and neighbors, and these connections help us navigate through the ups and downs of life. However, there are times when the harmony of a relationship is disrupted, and tension begins to creep in where there once was peace. People who were once close to you start to act distant, or there is an unspoken awkwardness that lingers between you and others. You may not understand the reason for the change, but the shift in behavior is noticeable, and it creates confusion and emotional discomfort. When this happens, it can be a sign that something is off, and sometimes that something is envy. Envy is an emotion that can silently destroy relationships. People who feel envious of your achievements, happiness, or blessings may not always express it openly, but their feelings can manifest in subtle ways. They may distance themselves from you, behave coldly, or make passive-aggressive comments. What you once thought were deep, genuine connections may suddenly feel strained, and you may find yourself questioning the cause of this unexpected shift. In such situations, it's important to understand that this distance is not necessarily a reflection of your actions. Often, the distance you sense in a relationship is caused by feelings that others may be struggling to cope with, such as jealousy, insecurity, or resentment. When someone envies your success or happiness, it can create a rift in your relationship with them. They may begin to feel that your achievements highlight their own perceived failures, leading to feelings of discomfort or resentment. Rather than confronting you about these emotions, they may choose to create distance instead, believing that it will help them avoid the source of their discomfort. However, it's crucial not to react impulsively or with resentment. The natural response might be to confront the person, demand an explanation, or express frustration about their sudden change in behavior. But doing so may only worsen the situation. Instead, take a step back and give the relationship time and space to heal. Remember that envy is a destructive emotion, and the person who is feeling envious may need time to work through their feelings. Sometimes people don't even realize they are being affected by envy. It's an emotion that often operates below the surface, and many people don't recognize it in themselves until it starts affecting their relationships with others. It is also helpful to reflect on your own actions and intentions. Have you done anything to contribute to the distance or tension? It's important to maintain self-awareness in such situations. However, if you are certain that your intentions are pure and that you have not caused harm or offense, then do not blame yourself for the shift in the relationship. Instead, trust that Allah knows the truth of every situation. You may not be able to control how others feel, but you can control how you respond. Keep your heart clear of negative feelings and make dua for the person who is distant from you, asking Allah to guide them and help them overcome their envy. In addition, patience is key. Sometimes the best way to handle a relationship that has grown tense is to wait. Envy often fades with time, especially when the person dealing with it has the opportunity to reflect on their own feelings and come to terms with them. During this time, continue to treat them with kindness, compassion, and respect. Show that you are not affected by their distance, and that you are still there for them if they need support. Often, the person who feels envious will eventually come to realize that their jealousy was misplaced, and they may seek reconciliation with you. 5. You feel exhausted or drained without explanation. There are moments in life when you feel a deep sense of exhaustion or fatigue, even though you haven't exerted yourself physically or mentally in any way that would warrant it. You may find yourself feeling drained, depleted, and lacking energy, as though something invisible is sapping your strength. This kind of fatigue can be confusing because it seems to come out of nowhere, and there's no clear explanation for it. You haven't been overworking yourself, and there's no physical reason for the exhaustion, yet you can't shake the feeling of being utterly drained. This unexplained exhaustion can be a sign that you are being affected by negative energies, and one of the most common sources of such energy is envy. Envy is an emotion that can have a powerful impact on your spirit, often in ways that are not immediately visible. It's an emotion that, when left unchecked, can create a hidden drain on your physical and emotional well-being. People who are envious of you may not always express their feelings openly, but their envy can unconsciously affect you in ways that leave you feeling drained and fatigued. Exhaustion that stems from envy can also be a reminder to protect your spirit and seek refuge in Allah. When we experience such unexplained fatigue, it's important to assess our mental and emotional state and reflect on the energy around us. If there are people who may harbor negative feelings towards us, whether through envy, jealousy, or ill-wishing, these emotions can impact us in ways that we don't immediately recognize. Sometimes these feelings can manifest as physical symptoms, including tiredness, headaches, or a sense of being drained. The exhaustion you feel could also be a signal to take a step back and reconnect with yourself spiritually. This kind of fatigue is often a sign that your soul is in need of spiritual nourishment and rest. During such times, it's helpful to engage in acts of worship, such as prayer, remembrance of Allah, and reciting the Quran. These acts have the power to renew your energy and bring peace to your soul. They serve as a reminder that you are not alone in your struggles, and that Allah is always there to support and strengthen you. If you find yourself constantly feeling exhausted without a clear cause, it's important to examine your environment and your relationships. Are there people around you who might be harboring negative feelings toward you? Are you in situations where you are constantly exposed to jealousy or ill intentions? While you can't always control the actions of others, you can control how you respond. Protect yourself by engaging in regular acts of worship, seeking refuge in Allah, and distancing yourself from negativity. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, and avoid situations that drain your energy or expose you to harmful influences. If you find yourself feeling drained or exhausted without explanation, take a moment to reflect on your surroundings, your relationships, and your spiritual practices. Trust that Allah is aware of your struggles and turn to Him for protection and strength. By engaging in acts of worship, seeking refuge in Allah, and protecting yourself from negative energies, you can find the strength to overcome feelings of exhaustion. Remember that with every hardship there is ease, and Allah's mercy is always greater than any challenge you may face. Stay spiritually strong and trust that Allah will guide you through the trials of life. As we've explored, envy can be a silent force that drains your energy, affects your relationships, and even impacts your well-being in ways that are not immediately obvious. But always remember, no matter how challenging these signs may seem, Allah is there to protect you, guide you, and restore your strength. By staying spiritually strong, keeping faith in Allah, and surrounding yourself with positivity, you can overcome the effects of envy and maintain your peace. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to Dean Explorers for more insightful content. Stay spiritually strong, and may Allah keep you protected and blessed.